continue to search.
Frantically searching
Well,
and doing our homework.
Content that may be applicable to tonight's show as we go through things, and that makes my head hurt looking at that one. Anyway,
That's
yeah.
good. I
Hello
hope you're
there.
ready for the show because I just drove in from Alexandria not too long ago, and I've been out of the loop for days. I feel like I've been on a island stranded somewhere and out of the loop of everything.
Well, talk about being. I've been in the loop. I've been getting looped all day long.
I'm glad it's headed your way. I've had my phone on Do Not Disturb for basically 3 days.
Yeah, but when you have your phone on Do Not Disturb, that don't do much good when people just show up at your house.
Oh, well, that's true. If they'd have showed up at my house, they would have got the wrath of my wife because I was 100 miles away or however far Alexandria is. Honestly, it's not that far. Of course.
Well, they didn't technically show up at my house. I think possibly the intentions was to show up at my house, but they didn't necessarily come to anybody's house, just to the end of the driveway. So
we need to talk about that. I've heard you're expanding your family there.
Well, somebody is trying to expand some families up here in Benton. I got to tell you, it's going to the dogs up here. It's literally going to the dogs.
Oh, do tell. This will be interesting when we get to it.
So I think tonight we are going to talk about the dogs. We might throw a splash of Bossier City in there.
Yeah, a little bit, of course, about the data center and the big announcement and, where they're shoving the data center pill down our collective throats, which,
the sky is falling.
No, according to these guys, and we're going to listen to some of it when they did the Keel interview, that Mike Basuda and Justin Dixon. Anyway, according to them, everything's hunky-dory and there is not a problem in the world. Everything is going to be peaches and cream and anything else you can dream with these data centers coming here. I mean, that's the way I read it. I mean, look, if I was a paid pitch man, that's how I would have pitched it too. Let's be honest. Come on.
Come on. Now, wait a minute. Paid pitch man. I don't know. I might have to show you some evidence and challenge and push back on that because I heard that.
No, I didn't say they were getting paid extra or too much, but the fact is they get paid salaries or whatever from the organizations and their law firms, and they're pitching on behalf of their client, which is Amazon Web Services.
From their law firm. Well, you may teach me something here because I don't know about that.
Isn't one of them Basuda or whatever, a lawyer or whatever? I think one of them's a lawyer.
Well, he's a lawyer, but I don't think that puts him with a law firm.
Well, maybe he has his own personal law firm, but he's a lawyer somewhere and he's representing either the contractor or Amazon. I'm saying AWS in general, but it's an Amazon data center. So whichever organization they played the shell game with for the money. And look, I'm not saying that they're doing anything illegal at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying those two guys are pitching on behalf of Amazon.
Okay. Well, let me stop you. You're my friend and all, but I gotta say, I think you may have one person confused with the names that you're saying. And the person that you're thinking is not one of the names that you're saying, I think.
Maybe so. I've been out of the loop for 3 days. We could be talking about John Settle representing them for all I know.
Look, I'm trying to keep us on track. I'm trying to be transparent and keep us on track here. I mean, you didn't even know I've been sending out public information requests left and right.
Well, you could have sent out requests to Trump himself, and I wouldn't have known. You could have had Trump on the show. Who knows? Since I've been gone.
Look, I've been sending them out left and right, and ironically, I did have a little bit of success. So, anyway,
we'll figure all that out.
Yeah. So, are we going to do the little countdown thing, or which one are we going to do?
Well, I think we're just going to do the little intro ad. We'll skip the whole countdown. Let's get right into it because I'm going to go eat me some dinner when we're done. I was kind of starving, boss.
Woo, I see comments already coming in there. I see one, I got a challenge right out of the gate. Somebody's talking about
Justin
somebody's got a
Dixon
600. I got to know,
What
where
is
did
it?
you get that information?
Well, the rounding numbers. I mean, what's a few 100,000 between friends? Round up a little bit.
Yeah, I got to know where that number comes from. I haven't seen that number. I've been looking for it because I heard somebody else say it. I've been looking. But anyway, go to the countdown.
All right, here we go. Let's go to the, well, we'll just do the intro. We're going to skip the countdown. So, folks, we'll be back in about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You better pop your popcorn quick or pour that drink in a hurry because we'll be right back. And we're going to get on our soapbox for a little while because everything is going to the dogs, including the data center. Now, we'll talk about it here in a few minutes. Be right back. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Outdoor News, fishing and outdoors for our area. Acadiana Mortgage, over 25 years in the mortgage business. Pelican Training and Consulting. Reach out to Julie Ferris. Smarter Geek, making technology easier. And folks sharing information and watching out. Now, grab your popcorn and a drink. Here we go.
I guess I'm going to have to explain it to everybody because there's so much. I ain't going to say it's misinformation. In some cases, there are people putting out misinformation, but in a lot of cases, people are confused about the roles of all these folks. And that's another one that
is Mike Busada an attorney? Yes or no?
He is. Yes,
is he a paid attorney, or is he just doing this out of the goodness of his heart?
No,
legal work in general. I'm not even saying for Amazon. Does he get paid as a lawyer?
Look, or is
he just, is he a trust fund baby and decided to get his law degree?
Can I talk here? Can I even get a word in here?
I notice you're wearing your Outdoor News shirt. Good job, Mr. Lowry.
Yeah, and I'm eating almonds while we're on the show too. Hang on, I got to go get a stiff drink because this is obviously going to be a long show tonight.
You don't have enough lead in that cup yet.
No, I do not. It is some unsweet tea that needs to be sweet without a doubt. So
yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Where am I going wrong?
It's in all seriousness, since this is going to be an informational show, we're going to show y'all tonight documents that y'all haven't seen yet regarding the data centers. We're going to share information that obviously people have not seen. Hopefully the goal here is to give everybody a little bit more clarity, answer some of the questions that we've had questions about. I mean, because I don't think you and I make any bones about it. We support the data centers.
Yes, we do. Yep.
I mean, we're in favor of them, but there are caveats to that. There's still questions that remain. And I'm not saying, that anybody's wrong to have questions. Nobody's wrong to have questions. But when some people are putting out information that is just incorrect because they have a preconceived notion of the way they want it to be, that's not right. We got to call it a spade a spade.
Push back a little bit. So Dixon and Busada, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Well, I mean, look, they've got a preconceived notion that everything is going to be rainbows and roses and leprechauns.
Okay, what organization is Busada with?
I have no idea. He's a lawyer. That's all I know. And he was on Keel advocating and talking about how great it was.
Oh, so that means he's with a law firm representing the data centers?
Probably so, unless he just decided to jump on Keel with Justin Dixon and tout the data centers for the hell of it. Maybe he did.
Well, what if go to that link right there that you got your cursor on, go on and click on it, and let's just answer this. Let's just answer this question right here for everybody right out of the gate.
That's the contact page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me flip screens here. Hold on, folks. Rex screen share. Hopefully that works. Well, that didn't work with the flip. Here, we're just going to kind of cheat. There we go. All right. So this is the nwlafinance.org contact page. So what are we looking at here?
Oh, we'll scroll down or go to staff. Let's see, I'm not on the page. There should
Yeah,
be
hold on.
staff heading on there, and
let
you'll
me do a
see
little adjusting
Michael
here.
Busada in there somewhere.
I don't even see staff. Who are we?
It's in there.
Here we go. Board of Trustees, Damian Ford, Dr. Jimmy Jones, Administrative
Boom.
Staff, Michael J. Busada, Program Counsel. Oh, looky there. There's my favorite guy, Travis Moorhart.
I don't care about Travis. You screwed it up. I was going to go there with Travis Moorhart, but my point is Michael Busada is the North NWLA Finance Authority. A lot of people probably don't even know that entity exists or even what it is.
Wait a minute. Are they related somehow to bringing the data centers here?
Well,
yes or no?
Yeah, they were a part
yes
of it,
or no?
but this is the funding mechanism.
Stop
mechanism that they
right
use
there.
to do that over there.
Stop right there. This is the funding mechanism that they used. Busada is a lawyer. It says right there, he is program counsel. Generally, that's referring to a legal counsel. He gets paid to do all this. Unless he's just benevolent and doing it for free.
He's getting paid by the data center, though, right?
I'm sure that money is funneling, and I don't mean illegally, but I'm sure that money it is getting paid to the organization, and he is getting paid in some manner.
That's what you said.
I didn't say directly. I didn't say Bezos himself was autographing the check. I can't hit replay, but we can go back later after the show's over and replay ourselves.
I'm pretty sure that's what you were saying.
I parse my words carefully, Mr. Lowry, so hopefully we don't get sued one of these days.
I don't know, but I just got to say,
I said they were pitchmen getting paid to pitch the data center. I'm paraphrasing slightly.
Yeah,
that's pretty close.
Yeah, well, I'll give you that. You said that one time too. I did hear that, but
okay. See, I know what I'm doing here. I'm stirring the pot, Mr. Lowry. It's what I do best.
I know you do. You do. It's going to be a hard, long night, and I don't know why I even made notes, but it's either here or there because I'm nowhere where we're supposed to be. So you got these two organizations. The NWLA is the Caddo, it's the Shreveport side of things, and I mean, I think that's the background that we need to start. And then you've got the thing where the other guy is a part of, in which both of these are actually. I don't know why you've got duplication here, but they both function together. It's kind of like
they have to have multiple washing machines.
Oh, maybe they're sharing a laundromat. But in Bossier, you got the Greater Bossier Economic Development Foundation, and then they've got this sort like Bossier Trust thing or whatever that's the same thing as the NWLA Finance Authority. So the reason that all of this is important is because of the state law that allows them to do these pilot programs and all this stuff. I think they got to have this finance thing or whatever set up to where they can kind of flow that crap through. So if you'll start out, go to cut 1 and cut 2.
All right, let me get my folder. Hold up just a minute. Just you're throwing me softballs or would you rather just snarky remarks?
Yeah, I've had a long day, and I didn't show up. You beat me up all night.
It's okay. I
came up here with the good intentions of trying to teach people stuff, but as you see there, he's not with no law firm.
All right, so
he's not. You're derailing it. All right, he's not with a law firm. He's with the NAA.
He's
whatever.
A lawyer. Whether he's with a law firm, I bet you anything he represents other clients in some manner. So he's probably an independent lawyer. However, that's business wise with lawyers. But anyway, I'm sorry. Which cut number did you want me to go to? Because I don't have the notes right in front of me. I got the cut page.
It would be cut number 1.
Okay.
Information.
I'm just making sure. All right. Here we go.
So,
all right, educate us.
I'm going to have to pull the cuts up myself here and look at them on my end. So anyway, here's something kind of breaking down from you. This came from LED, Louisiana Economic Development, whatever, the state organization. And anyway, it kind of breaks down how all this stuff goes, in Caddo. And you see up there the Northwest Louisiana Finance Authority, the pilots generally, and ITEP. It kind of flows through those organizations up there, and it talks about how the police jury created the Caddo IDB or whatever 1973. And then the Northwest Louisiana Finance Authority, that thing's been around since 1978. It was originally the Shreveport Home Mortgage Authority, and then subsequently it changed after that. I guess it was 2024 or something like that. Go
So
to second cut.
let's hold up for 1 second and then I'll go to the second cut because you're doing a fine job of explaining it. I just go back to Burt Gummer from Trimmers telling the government guys that y'all take something that should be so simple and just do nothing but complicate it. Why do we have to have acronym soup to get, hold on a minute. Why do we have to have acronym soup to get businesses here? I mean, this is crazy. But it's part of it, so I applaud you on your deal. Can we refresh everybody what the pilot means? Is that where they do the payment in lieu of taxes or something like that?
It's a bunch of programs about trying to be competitive, with other states or whatever, offering incentives to get people here. So it's basically giving them tax breaks and incentives and negotiating however to do that stuff. I mean, look, at my core, I'm against government giving benefits. I mean, we had a previous show and I argued about, why should some company that hasn't never been here get a tax benefit that me as a local business can't get? Why should I not get, that tax benefit as well? And I still agree with that, but the other side of that coin, people would argue, they'd say, well, to be competitive against these other cities, states, or whatever, we've got to give some kind of incentive or break to these people, or else we're never even going to be in the game. I don't know if that's true or not. People say in other states these things have came and they didn't get any break and they still went to those areas. I even heard a report of a data center where in South Louisiana where there was a proposed data center going to a parish, and the governing body of that parish decided to do their negotiating on their own, not going through no economic development foundation or any of that crap. And there was going to be a 30-30-30 split on tax revenues with no tax breaks to all the governing bodies of that parish, and which is unheard of. Now, they don't have a data center yet, and they don't even have any agreements yet, but supposedly the idea is that they have the resources and they know the data center is going to come there. So it begs the question, do you have to or do you not have to? If those people get their data center down there, then I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe we made a bad deal up here. But here's the problem: we don't know what deal we made up here. We don't know what it
That's
is.
the biggest problem. Yeah. I would agree. And let me be clear again, we've both said ad nauseum that we both support the data centers. That's actually absolutely true. Not anti-data center. I don't know Mike Bethesda or whatever, and Justin Dixon. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, or butchering his name. But anyway, I don't know them personally.
The attorney, just remember the attorney.
Yeah, the attorney that Duke says isn't really attorney, or he doesn't get paid. So, so
I didn't say he wasn't an attorney. I just said he wasn't getting paid by a law firm to be the attorney.
He's like me. He's just an attorney on Facebook and pretends to be one on Facebook only, people. But anyway, so we're absolutely for the data centers. Of course, I am. I'm a tech guy. I know as well, Duke. You've stated many times that you are too, of course. It's that old saying, dazzle them with brilliance or baffle them with bullshit. And when I hear that pitch on Keel, nothing against Aaron and Mike, because Aaron did a little bit of pushback here and there. It wasn't that, but those two guys were doing their jobs and what they are paid by whomever to do. But when I hear 100% pitch, I mean, I'm thinking of Flex Seal. It's the greatest thing ever until it's not. And Flex Seal's pretty good, but it's got some flaws. And so I think the data centers overall, on balance, are going to be good for the economy, but they're just not God's gift to our economy necessarily. They are a piece of it. And so that's
Yeah,
my problem. And like you said with the NDAs, we didn't know.
well, and here's something else. I've seen some other people talk about, like, ITEP, as I appreciate it, and by this, cut that you have up right here, ITEP, as I appreciate it, only applies to manufacturers, and this isn't. I don't think this is classified as a
Well,
manufacturing
hold up.
type.
Let me push back there as an IT guy. I mean, you could say they're manufacturing bits and data. I mean, you know.
Oh, okay,
I don't know what the
okay.
literal definition as far as this goes is for manufacturing. I mean, but they are manufacturing a product, and the product is the social media and all the other stuff we do, or in the case of Amazon, sales and their Alexa and all the other and Amazon Web Services and all the stuff that they do. I mean, that's kind of a gray area line to me as a tech guy.
Well, as I appreciate it, and I may be again wrong, that maybe one of the exemptions that or tax things that we may be talking about here is actually a House Bill 827 of 2024, as I appreciate it, and that is a uh, tax rebates. It provides relative to sales and use tax rebates on the sale of certain communications and data center equipment. The bill amends several to establish a state and local sales use tax rebate for certain communication service equipment, data center equipment in Louisiana. It introduces definitions of terms such as approved data center facility, data center equipment, and fiber optic cable equipment, and outlines the eligibility criteria for taxpayers to receive rebates. So my point is that there's a lot of people throwing out there as to what tax thing. And the truth of the matter is I don't think everybody accurately knows until we get exactly, like Basada and the other guy, I didn't hear in the Keel interview, I didn't hear specifically in detail the numbers. I have yet to hear the numbers from anyway. So to everybody watching and to you, the next morning after that, it may have been that afternoon after that announcement, I sent public information requests to the police jury, to the city of Bossier, and to the school board. And the reason that I sent them to the city of Bossier, because there's people was attacking Bossier City saying, why is Bossier City? What rebates are you giving? Well, we've covered that already. Bossier City isn't in the hunt here. Bossier City is just selling water to a customer, a commercial customer, at the preset commercial rate that they have listed on their website. I mean, if you have a business outside of Bossier City right now, you can buy water from them for the same price as what the data center is going to buy water for.
Now, I'm just being a little contrary, obviously, tonight, a little bit, but do we know that for a fact, or did they get a discounted rate?
No, they didn't get a discounted rate,
How
and
do you
so
know that for sure?
that's why I because they said it at the council meeting. We showed it on a previous show before.
Okay.
So that's why I specifically requested the specific agreement that they signed that has the mayor's signature on it, so I could show everybody, because people are out there saying that, oh no, the city of Bossier did something. Well, the city of Bossier wasn't in this. How could they have done anything?
It's my contention the city of Bossier should be building a pipeline from the Red River over to both of the Shreveport and the Blanchard data centers, and competing with the water and selling them water over there. More money for more revenue for the city of Bossier. And they wouldn't have to draw it out of Kettle Lake, but we'll get to all that.
But additionally, we were hearing doom and gloom that we're going to run out of water in Bossier. That's one of the charges being made. And you just heard the Amazon guy say that we're only going to use water 13 What did he
13%
say?
of what they got. Well, here's what I noticed, and I don't know if we have that, and you were doing all the queuing, so I'll say we like I've got a mouse in my pocket. I don't know if you got that one queued up because I hadn't looked yet, but notice they never answered that question directly either, because Aaron did ask them about the Caddo water situation and the up to 7 million, 9 million, 40 million, whatever, however many millions of gallons it is. And they kind of danced around that. They never directly answered it. He came back with that deal. Well, we're running efficient, so we're only going to need 13% of the water we calculated and only some of the time. But he never answered the question directly. How much water they're going to draw? They anticipate drawing a day. He just didn't answer it.
Right. So now that we've somewhat given a little bit of background, and again, like if you go down to the very bottom of the notes, I have another link, and I want to
grab it.
I'm trying to give everybody a little bit of background before we kind of jump into some of the details as we know
Williams
Yes.
Creative Group.
Yes.
Okay. All right, give me just a second. I will have it up there.
So, we've shared with you the Caddo side of it, the finance authority thing over there, whatever. Well, in Bossier, we have the Greater Bossier Economic Development Foundation, and they have their little finance side of this equation as well, too. And interesting on this page, if you go down right here, so if any of y'all want to read and study the programs a little bit more, you can go to that Greater Bossier Economic Development, and you'll see there it's got the ITEP program, the first one there. They'll give you details on ITEP, foreign trade zones, enterprise zone, the quality jobs program, Freeport law, not even heard of that one, restoration tax abatement, motion picture production program. Basically, all of the programs where there's any kind of these tax programs is in there. And you click on one, like at the bottom there's digital interactive media and software program. I think that might most closely apply to this. I think that's probably some kind of movie type stuff or whatever, but it breaks down, it gives you their available incentives for businesses to come here. So that's a starting point for a lot of y'all. So fast forward to, we finally had the announcement, right?
Right.
Not yet. Hey, good. We're not going there yet. But Governor Landry, they give them credit. They did a pretty good show. That was fun. They
lots of dogs and ponies in that show.
Yeah, and interesting. I don't know if it was a dog or a pony, but Foster Campbell was there. And
you're throwing
interestingly, cut 9. Now, I don't know if y'all are going to be able to hear this, but there was a part of this dog and pony show with Foster Campbell, and it was a really good part, but you'd have to kind of know some of the inside ball to appreciate it. So we're going to click play and let him say what he's going to say, and then I'm going to give you the background on who he was talking to.
All right. So is this the Facebook KTBS video?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me get to it. I'm behind the 8 ball just a touch. Let's see. Good old Foster. Come on. Pull up. Here we go. Okay. So,
that ain't going to play, is it?
No, that's his picture's not. That's why I was asking.
Yes.
That other one is the full 48-minute meeting, which I can play.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's just a screenshot of Foster, which, hey, if I had to show off the Public Service Commissioner, if you got a problem with your electric rates or whatever, call that guy. I think he's, is he term limited out or whatever? This Public Service Commissioner?
Yes. I think he is. Okay, so I failed y'all on this. So,
well, excuse me.
It's probably going to take you a little bit to get that video up, isn't it?
No, I've already got the video queued up. I just didn't know if you wanted me to go to it. Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can bounce us over there. So that's the video. It's 48 minutes. So do you happen to know about where Bananas?
Yeah, go to the very, very start of where Foster starts talking. That is just scroll through to where he was talking, and
Okay,
right out of the gate, first thing he says.
a second, everybody. A little technical gift. All right, let's see. There's old Jeffrey. There's
It's
Jeffrey.
over 3/4 of the way. Keep going.
It's an alien.
Oh. Keep going. Right after this guy.
All right. This is kind of tedious to scrub. Bear with me, folks. All right, right after this guy. Here we go. Shall I hit play?
Yep.
All right, let's see what old Foster has to say.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me today. This is my 51st year in politics.
Oof. That's terrible audio. What did he say? 51st year in politics?
54th, I think.
Holy crikey. All right, here we go.
Always nice to go to places where people are smiling like this lady is right here. That's nice. You encourage people to do the right thing. You're smiling. That's nice. I've been in other places where there wasn't smiling.
Okay, that's it. Stop.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, some lady on the front row is just smiling like a mule eating briars from ear to ear, and he recognizes that she's smiling so much. Well, as the story would go, supposedly, she's one of the people that sold land for the data centers.
Well, I bet she is smiling. She's a happy camper.
And you daggone right, she was smiling.
Heck yeah. Wow. All right. So they did the dog and pony show. And look, we kind of touched on mentioning the NDAs in the beginning. But again, this is the biggest problem I have with it. And I think I'm speaking for you pretty closely too, Duke, is there's virtually no public input except some, private citizen meetings throughout this whole process until they had the dog and pony show and Governor Landry just announced, here's what you're getting. I mean, we all knew it's data centers, but this is it. There's no other discussion. Y'all are getting it. Now I'm putting words in Jeff's mouth, but that's the overall consensus and push. And then we have the dog and pony show on Keel, which again, hey, that's what those guys are getting paid to do. That's fine. And they're promoting the data centers. I'm for the data centers. I am, again, not for this being done under the cloak of the NDAs with no other public input, even if it was going to get railroaded in anyway. At least let people have their say, not just on social media. Anyway.
Well, and that is where we're at now. I mean, like we said in our previous show, there's, with what they did with these NDAs, once the deal is done, that's when the accountability is going to begin. And that accountability is that either your elected officials who chose to go down the road of the NDA made a good decision on your behalf, or they did not. And so, but we still don't have all the information. But that isn't the case everywhere. So if we go through cut 10, 11, 12, and 13, I can tell you that in Caddo, there were elected officials over there. They were gave term sheets, and they had these, and we are able to get our hands on these. So I'm pretty certain that this same thing is probably in Bossier, and but we haven't gotten them yet. But as you can see stamped all over this, like earlier we were talking about and bringing everybody up to speed, the NWLFA, that's the finance authority, and the North Louisiana Economic Partnership. You see those terms, and then you see the pilot agreement or pilot programs. They're talking about those uh, those state programs or what have you with LED and all that. So there was information here, but and if you go to the next one, cut 11, there's when you hear Basada and the other guy talking about the minimum number of jobs, you see right there that they've got per each level, and I don't know what level they qualify for. I would think that I don't know. They've got a minimum number of people that they have to hire. But when he talks about, it's kind of disingenuous when he talks about that if they don't meet the number of people, employees being hired or working over the time period, it's going to cost them millions and millions of dollars. Well, heck, they if it was going to cost them multiple millions, well, I mean, they would just spend $1 million and hire people to go out there and sleep 24 hours a day in a bunk and say they got people hired.
Right.
I mean,
that's
so
what
I'm not.
Yeah, and John Settle put out an article that basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically said that everybody that's against the data centers needs to hush. It's like the casino deal. And I almost want to do a face palm. Now, look, I know the casinos employ a lot of people. I'm not saying that. And, I'm glad that everybody that works at the casino around here has their jobs. That's not it at all. But can we count the number of casinos that have gone bankrupt? And wasn't there one that was basically mothballed until finally Live came in and shoved out an existing business as they redid and opened up their new casino? Let's see. The roads were supposed to be paved in gold, and we would never have to want again for anything with our school system because of these casinos. And none of that has happened. I mean, there is the beef fund, but that's like a sitting there and nobody ever touches it, $35 or $40 million. I mean, really, John Settle, compare it to the casinos? I mean, I would rather Shreveport and Bossier be known for data centers and technology than casinos. And again, look, I go to the casinos every once in a while. We'll go hear a band play, or we once saw a comedian not too long ago. It's not that I'm against the casinos, but really, I would much rather be known for data, technology. I hate to use the word progressive, but progressive type industries, not gambling casinos.
Yeah. So let's scroll through these pages. And so what I would tell people is that if y'all want to review these pages, go back through the show, click play later, and you can zoom in and read these pages one by one and study them. Okay. Yeah. Or that. I haven't had time to completely review these. And so, but I will say, let's see, if you go to the last one, cut 13, and if you scroll in up at the top, because there's one of the things I saw in an interview, I saw someone say, and someone earlier in the comments posted that the guy was making 600,000, and you said he was making 600,000 or whatever. Well, I've been looking for that because I heard that before. And then I heard somebody say that on top of his 600,000, he'd additionally got a $400,000 raise.
That's not true.
From the data center stuff. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that was mistaken. And what they're talking about is this 400,000 that is part of the administrative fee that goes back to the NWLFA, for this pilot program. So like over the course of 20 years, that 400,000 goes to that agency. It doesn't go to the one
it's
guy.
It's not going in his pocket. Well, and let me clarify too, because Danny McCormick was on Moon Griffon, and Danny McCormick has, I won't say outspoken critic of the data center because that's not correct. He has been an outspoken critic of the process, the transparency part of it, much like we have, as well as Chris Crackman. But when McCormick was on the Moon Griffon show, he did allude to it. He mentioned the guy's salary, and then he mentioned that the payment would be around $400,000 to this organization. So he didn't directly say the guy was going to pocket $400,000. He did, but he kind of tied them together a little bit. So he was parsing his words carefully too. And look, I don't begrudge anybody for making $600,000 a year, $400,000 a year, $40,000 a year, or $4 million a year. That's not the point. It's that, these organizations are getting paid additional money to be pitchmen, and that's okay too. But I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, so let's see here.
And Duke has had enough of me. That's it. He has gone silent.
No, it's not. It's not that. So one of the, I think, see, what was it? Michael Prime. He sent a link, North Louisiana Economic Partnership, and he shows the president, Justin Dixon, on this link, and it shows compensation related 600,000.
Yeah, is that
although
okay,
yeah, and I went there, and clearly it says 600,000 in there. I would find that hard to believe. I don't know why I would find it hard to believe, but it just
what's
seems
the
odd.
port
But I
guy
have
make?
Well, I don't think he makes that much.
No, but he's bumping, getting close. It's like they've got a race going on. And look, nothing against the guy making that much money. That's not the point. I mean, neither you nor I are into class warfare. That's not the point.
But additionally, I've had somebody send me information regarding an audit of 2024 that said that Justin Dixon, with expenses, made $47,035 in 2024.
47,000? Like,
yeah, 47,000. So there's
well, he'd have to be head of multiple organizations and have some other income. You can't even hardly survive on $47,000. They forgot a zero.
No, I would agree. So something ain't adding up here. But 600,000.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, wait a minute.
Down here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but right here, if you go to the ProPublica.org page, that link that Michael Prime put in the comments, you see right here, it says Justin B. Dixon, compensation $600,000 plus other $27,000. So he's over $600,000 total compensation.
Okay, so hang on a second.
I mean, ProPublica may be lying, but I doubt it.
If you keep scrolling down, 2019, it shows the president was Jesse Martinez, making $226,000. Then Jesse Martinez the next year was $133,000 in 2020. 2021, I assume, was the first year Justin Dixon came along, $406,000. Then in 2022, Justin Dixon, $355,000.
Now, isn't Justin? Is he the one that said, "What's the fiber gone by?" Graham Walker. I should know because he used to be a client of mine. Is Justin the one that he said that Graham had recruited him over here?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. And so nothing against Graham Walker and fiber bond. That's not the point.
2023, 612,000, and then 2024 it shows 600,000. Yeah, moving on up. So interesting.
I mean, maybe ProPublica's wrong, but anyway, he's making bank. That's fine. Don't have a problem with that. Again, all I was being in the beginning being contrary about was pointing out the pitchmen, doing Flex Seal on the Keel interview.
Yeah, and so then somebody messaged me while we're going over this, and they said that's from the 990, but then the LLA audit says 47,035. Don't know why they would be different. So
yeah, that's a big
I don't
difference.
either. Yeah, you don't say.
Let's see. What was that other organization that's in trouble with the Bossier Arts Council? Maybe it was a little bit of underreporting. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't either. Either. So,
all
right. So we went over NWA. All right. So to the Keel interview, and what I put in our notes was trying to address, the primary issues, the stuff being said about water, the stuff being said about electricity, and even sound. Now you've probably heard it. A lot of people saying, "Oh, we're going to be deaf. We're all going to have hearing aids by the time this thing is done." Well, uh, I
Maybe,
don't
maybe
know.
not. Well, let me clarify or get on my soapbox about that for a second. The point, and this may not be the case with the Amazon data center. It may be quiet as a church mouse. The point of it is not that the decibel level is that great. It is that it is never ending. And it is the biggest gripe of people who have lived in data centers in recent years has been that the noise and the hum is ongoing. It's like a form of audible torture because it doesn't stop. And it's a little bit above, normal background audio, but it just never ceases. It's kind of like my wife loves to sleep with the ceiling fan and she's got another fan blowing across the whole bed. And I have to hear that jet engine all night. Doesn't bother her at all, but it drives me crazy till I finally get to sleep. It is like slow torture. And I think that's the biggest. A lot of people think it's going to sound, the data center is going to sound like a jet engine up there. That's not the point. It's that it does have an elevated noise and that they tend to be, at least other data centers, never ending because they've got to run 24/7.
Funny thing, walk down memory lane. So if you're a old school fireman in Bossier City, you'll know what I'm talking about. But allegedly, in years past, there were ceiling fans back in were hot wired to run at like a much higher velocity than what they were designed for, just so that you would get that humming noise that you're talking about and allow you to sleep.
Well, if ours ran any faster, it would probably lift our roof. No, I'm only slightly being facetious about this, and my wife's probably going to kick my rear end when I get in the house. But I think a lot of husbands suffer from the same thing. The wives have to have the fan going, so that's okay. Whatever. I learned to
All
live
right,
with the
so
humming.
Sandy Crackman says Brusada. I thought it was Busada, but y'all can butcher his name. That's good. Is listed on Butler Snow that he works for. Looks like a national firm. He's involved with a lot. Bucky's, Meta, etc. Okay.
Yeah, Dixon was touting his virtues on the Keel Dog and Pony Show too. And by the way, I don't know if we plan on playing any of that tonight, but if not, I'm going to do a transcription of the Keel deal and post it so everybody can listen to it too. Of course, we encourage you to go to the Keel app and listen to it there as well. Blah, blah, blah. Full disclosure, because Keel does generally good interviews.
Yeah, so since we're talking about the sound issue, we're going to jump ahead a little bit and jump around, and I guess I'll just kind of guide us through this and showing some more documents. So, like I said, while you were out and about running the roads, I was slaving, sending out public information requests, and interestingly, the police jury within Bossier Parish Police Jury within 24 hours responded to my public information request. That might be. Yes, less than 24 hours, I got a response with documents. I was blown away. Blown away.
It must have bypassed the little princess and what's that other guy's name? The one that I helped once upon a time? Oh, Rogers.
Patrick.
Oh, no, not
Philip.
PJ. Philip.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, so go to the police jury folder that I put in the file there. And then when you go to it, go to the Ramball Environmental Health Report.
Ramball Environmental. All right, give me 1 second. I got to let these stream down because they hadn't streamed down just yet. So give me just a second. Play some Jeopardy music. All right, here we go. Okay, screenshot screen, take that away and put the Ramball Environment and Health Report up. Okay, here we go.
So Ms. John Glover asks, what is being maintained at these data centers? Well, Ms. Glover, your presence probably on this show commenting is being held in a computer there for future reference.
Yes, and not probably, it's housed in a data center. So the way this works, and I'll keep it brief, Ms. Glover, is So we're streaming to Facebook, for example. It's not that Facebook has one great big supercomputer at their main office in whatever town they're out of in California, Menlo Park or wherever. It's not that they have one great big supercomputer that does all this. They have clusters of computers in multiple geographic locations spread throughout the globe, these data centers that are filled with computers that basically, I'll just say, kind of act as one as far as processing power to do all this stuff, so that every time you post a comment, it shows up everywhere, or when we're streaming video, it is able to do that. And I've greatly simplified that, but that's basically it.
Hey, so real quick, I want you to jabber on. I want you to go through this document. It's pretty straightforward, but this will basically show you about the environmental study regarding the sound and noise, regarding the Bossier data center. This is one of the things that they sent me. I got to check on something. I'll be right back. 1 second.
All right, so I'm going to scroll through this and let's take a quick look at it, because I have no idea where the really good stuff that we're worried about is. And remember, according to Barry Butler and many others, and I think if you look up the data, Bossier Parish has one of the more restrictive noise ordinances, like in the whole U.S. or something. It's crazy. So I guess if they're going to let it in Bossier Parish, it must not be that noisy. Of course, they don't like dog kennels, but that's a whole other conversation. All right, here we go. So I'm going to skip over here to page 2. And the Bossier Parish Police Jury Code of Ordinances, Chapter 46, Article 2, blah, blah, blah. All right, here is the, let's see, what is this? No person or entity shall cause, which creates a sound level that exceeds the continuous background sound level by more than 7 dBA at any time, in daytime. Okay. So this is the daytime maximum numbers, or is it 7 above these?
I think those are the numbers, but the good stuff is in the third and fourth page, or the third. I think it's the third and fourth page. But what you would be interested in is the full cooling load operation. So when they're running at full capacity or whatever, what are the levels, and they're estimating 40 to 45 decibels is the numbers that you would be, talking about during daytime and nighttime operation. And if you keep scrolling on down and you go to on the fourth page, the conclusions part, and basically they're talking about where and whether it would be in compliance or whether it would not be in compliance. And essentially they're saying that they would be in compliance. And interestingly, the fifth page, it shows the property diagram, and this might be the first diagram that people will have seen of the layout. And you see they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think those are going to be like retention ponds. I'm not sure that those are the buildings or not. Maybe those are the buildings. I don't know, but they're because there's some wetlands on this acreage or whatever. Like, they're building some really big ponds as a part of this deal. And then if you go to the next slide, scroll on down, there you'll see the difference between 45 decibels and 40 decibels from a perimeter standpoint.
Right. Doesn't look to be too many residences around that. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, there's not. I honestly, I don't know that there is a single residence within that area. I really don't.
Honestly, it probably, I mean, I'm going to sound like a data center fanboy sort of, but it is what it is. Probably the highway noise will be louder than some of what you would hear from the data center, probably. In this case.
Yeah, so when I pass through there going to Plain Dealing, I'm going to roll the window down just so I can see how loud it is every time.
Listen to the data center on the way.
I'm going to turn the radio up a little bit louder.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the final slide. So yeah, and I'll try to get all this posted. Probably won't be tonight, but I'll try to get all this posted up in the next day or two, all these documents on Bossier Watch, so y'all can take a look at it and share it out. What is Mr. Seno saying?
And that slide that you're showing right there,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually the yellow line is 50 decibels, and the other one is out to 45 decibels. But that's only when they're running the generators. You
Okay.
know, when
Yeah, the
they're not
backup
having to run
generator
the generator.
testing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Or if the power does go down, then obviously they run it, but they do test them once a month or something like that or whatever.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that was
So,
pretty interesting.
yeah, so that's to the tune of sound. They additionally sent us the Bowler site plan, and if we wanted to scroll through all of those, it's quite a bit of pages of that with the
78.
emails and all that information.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, we'll just kind of roll through it. And again, folks, we'll get all this posted up so y'all can share it out and look at it if you want to. Sent to Toby.
yeah, yeah, and in here there's a lot of discussion and talk about and especially like on page 6, there was something that jumped out at me on page 6 here, but they were talking about how um, the the property or the area of the property, it makes up a total of 1,067 acres, but the actual footprint is only going to be like 198 acres. And of that 198 acres, there will be, pond 1, pond 2, and pond 3. There will be 3 ponds to control, water or, because like I said, that they talk about the wetland thing being in here. But interestingly, if you see up there in the third paragraph, it talks about that everything runs off into Black Bayou. And the EPA has identified a water quality concern for low dissolved oxygen in the Black Bayou Reservoir and has established a total maximum daily load for the corresponding watershed. I've not heard that before. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's not. But I've never heard Black Bayou being identified as a water quality concern.
Especially not with dissolved. I mean, I've got a dissolved oxygen meter. Maybe I should go up there and test it, but mine's the kind of cheap Amazon, not the expensive equipment you typically want to use for that. But I haven't heard of any fish kills lately on Black Bayou because, I can just tell you largemouth bass have a, pretty finite range that they like to live in. And I think when you start getting down to 5 to 7 parts per million, they're kind of starving for oxygen. And so you want to keep it above that. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that too, because there's a lot of fish that love to live in Black Bayou Reservoir. Anyway.
Yeah,
maybe the EPA knows best.
We're going to have to look into that a little bit. And I wanted to follow up on something. I shared with you a report about something a runoff, a area of runoff into Black Bayou that wasn't supposed to be happening, and It was brought to the attention of the police jury. I can follow up and report to you that has been rectified and is being monitored to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Oh, well, that's good. They're on top of it now. Maybe what's the new parish administrator's name? He seems to be on top of stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Ward. He is on top of his game. No doubt.
He's not worried about where he lives. Anyway,
yeah, exactly. So then, well, yeah, we're not going to go there.
Spit it out, Willie.
No, not going to do it. But at the end of that there's 78 pages in that document that we just had, and it goes into a lot more detail. But it's all the construction stuff.
Yeah.
The
side area.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And again, we'll share all this out. I'll try to get this up right after the show, at least this document, if I can.
Yeah. So where else are we going here? Boring so far. I know y'all all have just had enough of this.
Who said
Bossier
boring?
City.
I'm going to boot them off the show.
Okay. I mean, look.
I'm feeling feisty. I've got the band hammer out.
You had in the speech, you had the water issue. They're even talking about building water towers out there. Okay.
Well, yeah, and they did say, let me kind of address flipping back to the Caddo side. Now, one of the things that I did hear in that interview that I listened to with Keel, again, we'll get all that posted or get links to it and all that. But they did say, look, obviously for the data centers around the Blanchard one, which is kind of the one I'm really watching because of Caddo Lake, blah, blah, blah. But they did say that, hey, look, they're going to fund the infrastructure improvements because Aaron did ask them specifically about the water issues recently with Blanchard. And the comment from, the pitchman was, hey, look, these data centers have got to run. They've got to make sure the water is there. So if that infrastructure needs to be upgraded, they're going to fund it. And I think built in, if I understood him correctly, or them, built into the agreement is that they're supposed to build a water tower there and possibly a second if they can't maintain certain pressures. And that should also help the water pressure of everybody around the Blanchard and other water towers as well. So again, a rising data center floats all boats. And your electric bills are not going to increase.
Oh, you did. Okay. I was sitting there. I don't recognize those. I was trying to fly through that specific point on the Keel interview to play that. And,
I don't know if you have a timestamped. I just remember in the deal.
I did, but I can't find it. Hang on just a second. 3.
Bear with us, folks. It's a live show. And we're professional amateurs. We're getting very good at being amateurs.
3 of 5 of those restream videos.
The number 3 one?
Yeah.
Second, folks, and let me see if I can get that one queued up. All right, that's the one where they negotiated a 1% sales tax, $20 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we want to go to the 1% sales tax?
Yeah, let's start right there.
Okay.
And get through this.
Yeah, let me, where's the right screen? Come on, there we go. Replay. Boop. Okay. So no video, folks. This is just audio from the Keel radio show interview. You want me to hit play?
Yeah, rock on.
Right. Here we go. All right, so this is the NLEP negotiated a 1% sales tax deal. Here we go.
But as a part of this deal, NLEP negotiated basically a 1% sales tax. It's technically a payment in lieu of taxes, but it's 1% on all the stuff that they buy. A lot of that $12 billion will be subject to sales tax. And they expect that to bring in the first 3 years, about $20 million in additional sales tax to local governments.
It doesn't sound like they're going to need as much water as we initially thought. It was going to be 7 million a day. Now they're saying they're only going to use water like 13% of the days in the year. Is that something that you were at all disappointed with?
Well, obviously, we'd like to sell them a lot of water, but it certainly should allay concerns that people had that there would be a need, that there would be a
drain on our
shortage
system
of water. We didn't.
Right, so I'm going to stop it right there. So that's Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault, by the way, his interview segment on Keel. I think that was Tuesday, actually. So did I hear him say correctly about a 1% sales tax on the goods that they're purchasing for, I guess, the construction of these data centers? And, of course, everybody throws out the $12 billion, and a lot of that will be, taxable sales, and 1% of that would be a lot of money.
Yeah, so whether that equates, I ain't done the math, whether that 1% of their sales tax number is going to equate to $20 million over 3 years to local governments. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but that's the first numbers I've heard from anybody, from any politician.
All right, so let's say all $12 billion that everybody's touting around, let's say all $12 billion of that, just for our example, was taxable at the 1% rate. That would be $120 million. If all $12 billion was taxable, which it's not going to be, but just for our example. So even if 10% of the $12 billion was taxable goods, and that fell under this 1% deal, that would get them to the 20 million mark. So they need to spend at least $1 billion, give or take a little, on taxable goods. $1 billion.
Well,
with a B.
Well, maybe I don't know. But those are the first numbers we've heard.
I beat you, Mr. Sadow. I see the text message. I already have my calculator. I could have done it in my head, but it's been a long day. I've been teaching Excel all day.
All right, so go to the next timestamp that I got on there at 3:58.
Okay.
Let's play from there.
Let's see here. Big wave of construction jobs. Here we go.
On so many fronts.
Well, it does. We expect the big wave of jobs will be construction jobs. Then there'll be 400 to 500 really high paying technical jobs to maintain these facilities, and that will generate additional indirect jobs. But the thing to remember is that at what they've experienced in Northeast Louisiana is that many of these workers, there'll be a combination of workers who are coming into the Shreveport area for the project, and they have to have a place to stay. They have to have a place to eat. They'll have entertainment, and so what parishes like Richland and Ouachita and even Lincoln have experienced is a real influx of sales tax and hotel motel tax that results from all of that. So
I just have to note they won't be staying at the Bossier Extended Stay.
Probably not.
And if you boys got to stay, what was Jacobs's rule? If you got to stay over, is it 90 days? No. So 90 days, you boys are out and got to find another motel room. Wasn't it 90 days? I wonder if they're going to waive that rule.
Yeah, I doubt that's coming.
That may come back to bite them.
So look, y'all's friend Justin Dixon and Mike Busada, they went on Kill as well too. And if you queue up the second video of 5, we can get a few comments of their comments. One on tax breaks and the other on water and electricity, and we'll juxtapose their words against what Mr. Arsenault just said.
All right. So which video or which audio file?
It'll be it says 2 of 5.
Yeah.
Or data centers 1. The first thing is tax breaks.
And why do I have 1, 3, 4, and 5 tonight? Hold on. 2 of 5. Tax breaks, gotcha. 549 mark. All right, here we go.
Keys to the kingdom. What kind of tax breaks did they ask for? What kind of tax breaks are they being given?
It's a great question. I will tell you like this. We firmly believe once they build out, they will be the largest taxpayer in both Caddo and Bossier Parish with the incentives. And make no doubt, we have to incent. Mm-hmm. Because if we don't, and you said it the other day, Aaron, they'll go right across the line.
When you say incentive, we did give them property tax breaks?
We gave them tax incentives.
Okay.
So,
Exactly.
yes.
I will tell you this. They're less aggressive than what was given to Meta on the other side of the state.
Whoa. Refresh my memory, Mr. Lowry. What was that guy that we had on? Oh, Mike Eccles.
Yep.
And we asked him specifically about tax breaks. Do you remember what he said?
I do not remember what he said.
I think I got to go back and check our video because I could be wrong about this. It has been a long day. But I think he said they didn't really give him that many tax breaks, if any. But I've got to go back and check that video and that show. If anybody's bored and wants to do it, like Mr. Sadow, you can go back and check us on that and see what he said. Okay, let me continue on.
Okay.
So the taxpayers will collect a lot more here than will be collected on the other side of the state.
I want to talk about, I tell you what, let's take a break. When we get back, though, we're in studio with Justin Dixon, Mike Busada with North Louisiana Economic
You can stop
Partner.
there.
All right.
So, but here's the rub. We don't know what the numbers are. Nobody
Right.
has actually seen the numbers. I mean, so while it sounds good, yeah, we may have gotten a better deal than what they've gotten over there. But what exactly is the numbers?
You want me
I
to
just
tell you?
hadn't seen them.
Look, I sawed this aluminum boat in half and sprayed it with Flex Seal, and it held together while I stood up in the middle of a pond with it. It's Flex Seal. Buy it now.
Oh, I think I'm ready to talk about the dog that was left in my yard today. you no more teaching Excel for you, okay?
Well, you
All
know.
right, 1242. Let's hear what they got to say about water and electricity.
All right, here we go. Are our electric bills going up, and are they going to pull the plug and drain Caddo Lake? Here we go.
Every reason why the site won't work. They're trying to find every problem. And if you make it to the end, then you've gone through and you've beaten out a lot of communities and you really have something. And that's why we've been talking about and working with the legislature to get money to develop sites, because that's what it's all about. And on the water piece of it, quite honestly, I think the people in Blanchard are going to benefit tremendously, because think about this. This company, if they lose the ability to use water, you're talking about billions of dollars of investment that get fried. I mean, these are servers that cost billions of dollars, and they have to be cooled or they fry. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to go and spend a lot of money fortifying all of our water systems, because they know that water, there cannot be a situation in which water is compromised.
Let me jump on that, Mike. So, we know in this area, and especially to the west, close to Resilient Park, it's always been a problem of low water pressure. Mm-hmm. So they will be putting an elevated tank out there. So all of those
site.
On site.
Their own, yes.
Connected to the system. So all of those communities out there are going to flip and probably go from some of the lowest water pressure to some of the best water pressure in the city of Shreveport.
Will it impact other parts of the city?
They will make connectivity and improvements throughout the system.
Okay.
Water. Now I want to talk about power.
Yeah.
Because people are concerned my electric rates are going to go up. Are they going to provide their own power source and power supply?
So the thing that the governor said, the thing that Roger said, the thing that Matt, the CEO of Stack Infrastructure, said, they are going to pay for all of the required upgrades and all the required power that they need. This will not affect the taxpayers. And as a matter of fact, in places that have a critical mass of data centers, like Georgia, they are putting a 3-year moratorium on any increases on power rates.
Are we going to do that here?
If we can embrace them and we can work with them, I would be surprised if we didn't do that in years to come.
Are there other checks and balances? And Mike, I'll let you, because you probably work with lawmakers, that we make sure what Amazon is promising is delivered.
Absolutely. No, that's one of the most critical things. And we've negotiated these incentive agreements, just for hours and hours, for weeks and weeks and weeks, and to make sure that we get what we're promised. So just to give you an example, right now, if they are short 10 jobs, when they get to ramp up, it's going to cost them several $1 million every single year just for those 10 jobs that they're missing. If they fall below a certain number, it will cost them around.
They're making how much a year, and it's going to cost them a couple of million?
Yeah. They're spending $12 billion.
Pitch man.
A couple of million. All right, so they come back to this thing at 1801 talking about electricity again. And look, I don't know if any of y'all watched the State of the Union, but even Donald Trump brought up the fact about electricity and that communities won't or shouldn't, whether by legislation or however, as a result of this stuff. It almost was like he was talking about what was going on here in the debate that was happening regarding electricity, it seemed like to me.
All right, here we go.
And because something about Georgia and how they've changed the game.
Absolutely, and we were talking about it, but the Georgia Power, which is Georgia Power Company, like our SWEPCO, Southern Company, their residential rates are going down $8.50 a month because of the data centers. because of the mass amounts of revenue that they bring, they are reducing rate. And that was voted on by the Georgia PSC. And so, is it going to happen here tomorrow, next month, next year? Probably not. Georgia's been doing this a while.
But you're certain they're not going to go up?
They said it in the announcement yesterday. The governor said it. Stack Infrastructure said it. Amazon said it. The rates will not go up because
SWEPCO said it?
SWEPCO said it. SWEPCO said it.
Brett Madison was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he spoke, and he said it.
Okay.
Review tape. It will not go up because of this project.
I mean, it can't be more clear than that. He just said everybody, almost including God himself, came down and said it. I mean, that's what I got.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would be shocked if somebody doesn't bring a bill, to say that. But here's the thing. I mean, look, so we got some people in the comments that are throwing some shots out there. So for y'all that are just not going to budge at all, I just want to make sure that if you're going to get a refund on your or a lower electric rate, are you going to refuse it? Or are you going to take it?
Oh, I'm going to take every little bit of scraps that SWEPCO throws my way off my electric bill. If it's $8, I'll be happy with $8.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think it's by chance that they're talking about building 2 more power plants, one up here in North Bossier and another one over there in Caddo to, increase electrical capacity in our area. I think everybody's going to
power these power plants. Natural gas?
Natural gas is what I understand.
Pixie.
Yeah, natural gas. I mean, we got a ton of it. It makes sense to develop this type stuff around here.
Could be.
It makes a lot of sense.
So then our rates will go down another $8.
But here but here's the thing. So on this last video, the last timestamp, which was of importance, and this is one I want to jump out. So I sent this public information request, and all I got was, and I mentioned taxes, I mentioned documents about agreements and stuff or whatever, but we listened to this and we learned something else about the police jury.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, here we go.
I mean, it is.
Let me tell you this. The Bossier police jury went over and met with them because they want to see what they were getting into. Mm-hmm. And their leadership said the most they had ever had in the bank in Richland Parish was $1 million. Within 10 months, they had $12 million. And that's sales tax from beer and potato chips. That's not ad valorem tax. That's not sales tax from the project. Mm-hmm. That's just the construction workers. We fully expect to have that type of impact over here.
Well, let me ask one other concern that people have expressed.
Assuming that is 10% sales tax rate, and they just said $10 to $12 million, them boys spent $100 million so far on beer and potato chips over there? What the hell kind of data center are they building?
But were they getting Bud Light or Corona? That's the question.
I don't want to make any of those employees over there that are happily building away mad by saying they would drink Bud Light these days. I still don't drink Bud Light.
But some people say that Amazon and those type things have a propensity to prefer Corona or Dos Equis. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But I actually like Corona. I mean, myself, but I'm certainly going to take a Corona.
It's a cheap beer. You never see any of those Mexicans getting booted back over the wall taking Corona with them.
Well, they damn sure are not taking Bud Light with them.
Oh wow. Okay.
You don't see Bud Light going both ways. It only goes one way.
Well, we've already had problems with homophobic slurs in Benton here. We can't go too far down this path.
You started this.
Oh, one of those nights. All right. What else do we have to listen to? Anything in particular?
Well, Yeah, so I will wrap this up. And bottom line is that the police jury, all they did was send me documents regarding the construction. That's pretty much all I got from them. NDAs and the details of the tax abatement, or that they allegedly have given or not given, or whatever. I got nothing on any of that. The school board, same thing. We hadn't gotten a response back from them. The city of Bossier, we sent to try to clarify, because some people think that the city of Bossier gave something other than water. And to those people that believe that, we're going to try to show you what they did. And anyway, but in other news, somebody got creative. I think.
Wait, what?
And yeah, somebody got creative today. So
Really? What happened?
yeah. And I don't know. I have a hypothesis, and my neighbor may not agree that I'm correct. They may agree that I'm correct.
All
But
right, but
the weirdest.
hold up. You've already used the
Okay.
word hypothesis. That's getting above your little hot level there, right?
Well,
And
I can't.
creativity. I'm very intrigued now. What is going on around the Lowry compound?
Well, I can't confirm what happened today, but I have a suspicion of what happened today, and I think this is the case.
Okay.
Kara says
She
locked
what?
in alone at 5.25. Holy shamoly. Sounds like some people need to be getting a home loan.
Go Trump. Yeah. So
Wow, that actually is a good rate. I haven't seen a rate that low in a little while.
yeah. All right, but back to our
Cindy
regularly
Ulrich.
scheduled mystery programming.
Corona is Mexico's old Milwaukee. But hey, I'm gonna tell y'all what, if you ever go to Mexico and you get the little small ponies down there, they taste better than the Coronas here.
Okay. I like to put a little
They,
lime in my
I'm
Corona
telling
and then tip the bottle up and all that stupid jazz.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying the Coronas in Mexico taste different than the Coronas here. I think they taste better. But anyway, so yeah.
All right, so back to this mystery deal that you've got going on up around your compound. What's up?
Yeah, so up around, the Lowry compound, I mean, the craziest thing happens today, right? So I'm in the shop, I'm working on my daughter's truck, and I hear this commotion outside, of a bunch of dogs going nuts, and I'm like, oh crap, my dogs have done run over to the neighbor's yard, and they got a worker hemmed up, or at worst, my neighbor hemmed up. And anyway, my son was out there, and then next thing I know, I see him coming, walking down the driveway with two of our dogs. That's a whole nother story, because we have three now. Not my choice. Bo's laying here at my foot now. But anyway, so, and I come up the driveway, and there's a sheriff's deputy at, my driveway and my neighbor's driveway are right close to each other. And there's a sheriff's deputy parked at the end of my neighbor's driveway, which is right by mine, right?
Okay.
And I walk up there, and my neighbor proceeds to tell me that somebody brought a dog in a pen and just set it out at the end of the driveway.
And lo and behold, let me hit this button and see if you're lying or not. Ha! Well, looky there. So
they bring a pen with the dog in it and just set it out at the end of the driveway.
Now, I gotta say, that's kind of like, you are a fireman, or a former fireman, retired fireman. So, it's kind of like dropping the baby off at the fire department. At least, if you're going to drop the baby off, have it in a little bassinet thing or whatever. At least in this case, they dropped the dog off near a former fireman, retired fireman, and EMT's house, and they've got it in a kennel and with water.
Well,
at least they just didn't kick it. Maybe it fell out of the back of their truck.
Well, here's where the hypothesis comes in. Okay. So I don't think, I think that they meant to leave it at the end of my driveway rather than my neighbor's driveway.
Oh.
And
So this
here's
was no
why I think
accident.
that. Well, that's what I think. I think they meant to leave it at the end of my driveway because they knew what? They knew that you and I would yap about it and we would kind of talk about it. But that didn't occur to me. I didn't realize that at first. That wasn't my first thought. I thought, boy, this is odd. Somebody just leaves a dog in a pen at the end of a driveway. Who does that? And you don't even know that. I mean, like I keep cameras out. I have a camera and I'm gonna pull the SD card and try to see if I can identify the vehicle or not. But anyway, I haven't done that yet. But here's the thing. So I make a phone call. I call somebody down in Bossier City and I say, "Hey, are y'all still taking animals from the parish?" To which I was told, "No." The
Wait, what?
parish, I was told no, that they don't. That the parish stopped sending animals to Bossier City. They
Really?
refuse to do the contract anymore.
So what's the parish doing with animals?
Well, funny thing that you say. So I went and talked to the sheriff's deputy after learning that. And the sheriff's deputy proceeds to tell me, he's like, well, somebody from the police jury is supposed to be coming to pick it up. And I was like, well, who? And he's like, well, a police juror. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is going to be fun. So I sat there and I was going to wait on the police juror, whoever that was, to show up. I was assuming it was probably going to be Philip Rogers, in which
Maybe
you and
Juliana,
I,
your favorite princess.
oh, that would have been really rich, but I doubt this would have rose to her pay level. So I sat there and I was waiting. They said 30 minutes. Well, I think an hour and 30 went by and still no police juror. And I was like, what the hell? Where are they coming from? St. Tammany Parish or Plaquemine or something? So made a phone call up to the police jury and I was informed that that's correct. They no longer have a deal with the city of Bossier anymore, but that no, they didn't cancel it. But they did agree with me that there was a problem with their negotiations on pricing with the city, and
Which would
therefore they didn't
effectively
have an agreement.
cancel any contract.
Something like that, yeah. So there's no deal there. So they told me, they said, what our transportation, I think it's transportation division handles this now, but normally Ed Jordan, the police juror, would come out and pick up these dogs at people's places or things like that. And so they told me, they said, we'll call you back. They ended up calling me back 30 minutes later and said they got people on the way who's going to come pick up the dog. And sure enough, there were two guys in white police jury trucks, showed up, loaded the dog up. They were real nice to it, took it out on the leash, walked it around, used the bathroom a little bit, and then put it in the trucks and off they go.
So the Bossier Parish Police Jury is now collecting dogs and taking them to John Ed Jordan's house? What the hell
Well,
kind of redneck crap is this?
I don't know where they're taking them. I don't know what they're doing them. But what I'm saying is that at some point, I guess, in this process, when they decided to not do Bossier City anymore, I guess John Ed Jordan was going out picking up the dogs or something or another. But apparently that's not the case anymore. So I don't know what's happening.
Batman. We've got enough money in this parish to build all these libraries that nobody hardly uses, except the police jury themselves when they appoint themselves illegally, per Mr. Sato. We've got enough money to give Amazon and these data centers tax breaks for X number of years, worth millions of dollars potentially. But we can't either A, pay Bossier to take dogs, or B, build a facility to deal with these dogs. Riddle me that one.
Well, I think they already have a facility. I think the police jury has a facility that's already built. But here's the thing. I mean, my gosh,
John Ed
man,
Jordan's house or his
dogs,
barn?
I don't know about that, but I'm just saying there's a lot people. I mean, just my farm up in Plain Dealing, outside the city limits of Plain Dealing. I mean, there's dogs getting dumped, or animals up there all the time. I mean, but at least I know somebody in Boulder City's got a cat just running around up there fixing to have a bunch of kittens. And I was like, look, you want me to bring you a dog? They were like,
Bring a
no, that's
dog to take
okay.
care of the cat. That's, oh, we have to be careful. We'll make the animal people upset. Look, I got to say, cats are some of the most ruthless killers that there are when they're out roaming around neighborhoods. I mean, sometimes dogs attack people or whatever. Chihuahuas will bite your ankles, but cats are stone cold killers of wildlife.
Yeah,
Even your
no
favorite
doubt
little
about it.
furry house cat, when you let that house cat outside, they are turned back into stone cold killers.
Yep, 100%.
Hmm.
So anyway, so on one hand, to the person that dropped the dog off in the basket of the street, you're a turd. You know, but if you were trying to bring attention to the fact that the police jury in the city, you accomplished that. We talked about that, but I don't think that was the right way to do it. All you got to do is make a call or proton mail. You ain't got to go doing that kind of crap. I mean, if you were in a bind, that's another thing. People, you just say it. You don't have to go to those kind of extremes to do things like that. I mean, that's not the right way to handle things. And you know, just I don't know if I can say that's about as politically correct as I can get on it.
Well, it's our show. You can say what you want to. All right. Anything else that we have, Mr. Lowry?
I think we'll stop right there. I think we'll stop right there.
Well, hat tip to you for getting us some information together as I slid into the plate at the last minute and was an absolute contrarian for the first few minutes of the show. But thank you again for getting all that information together. That takes a little bit of time, and you were able to get the job done so we could maintain our professional amateur status.
It was a discombobulated mess, but we made it through it.
Yeah, we made it through another show, had 50, 60 people watching. We appreciate everybody that watches and comments, whether you agree with us, whether you want to call me out on my BS, Mr. Val Baker, or Mr. Sadow, whether you're running calculations for us and texting us in the background. We appreciate it all. Everybody else's comments. All right. What do you say we meet maybe next Thursday night or something like that? Would you like to
next Thursday?
Would you like to
Next
call it a
Thursday,
date?
be there, be square, bring Corona. No Bud Light here, baby.
You got it. Take us out of here, Mr. Lowry, so I can hit finish.
Adios.